Next, could I please have Layla Johnson come forward? Layla Johnson, a fifth grader from Dano Root Elementary School, has been selected as one of the district Students of the Month for November 2024. Layla is one of the most dedicated students at Dano Root 2 Elementary School. She has attended Dano Root for 6 years, first enrolling in transitional kindergarten. According to her fifth grade teacher, Layla is an outstanding and well-rounded student. She was always willing to help others, is a part of the student council, a safe school ambassador, and has achieved straight A's this year. Pretty good. After school, Layla likes to hang out with her family, especially her siblings, Danielle and Isabel. After school, Layla wants to go to college and study art. That's what I did. We congratulate you, Layla, for being honored tonight as one of the district's Students of the Month for November. Would you like to say a few words? Good.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board President Smith, Governing Board members, and members of the community. My name is Layla Johnson, and I'm honored to represent Dano Root 2 Elementary School. According to Albert Schwartz, success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. I chose that quote because it reflects the idea that true happiness is what ultimately leads to success, while success alone doesn't guarantee lasting happiness. Spending the past 7 years at Dano Root with my teachers, my friends, and siblings has brought me happiness, and that happiness has been a key part of my success. I'm also grateful to all the teachers who have supported and guided me along the way. Thank you. A special shout out to my parents for teaching me to maintain a positive outlook on life and always find the silver lining in every situation. If there's one thing you do every day, let it be finding happiness, because happiness is the key to success. Thank you for your time, and thank you for choosing me to represent Dano Root 2 as the District Student of the Month for November 2024.
Copy of what I read, and we're going to go over in the middle and take a picture, okay?
I'd just like to recognize the Cleo Gordon group in the room, as well as the Dano Root 2 teachers and staff in the room. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Okay. Hello, everybody. May I please have Delejin Duff come up here? Good job. No. You ready? Okay, you ready? Delejin Duff, a second grader from David Wire Preparatory Academy, has been selected as one of the District Students of the Month for November 2024. Delejin has a big smile and a positive attitude. He makes it a point to say hello to everyone he meets with a cheerful, "Oh, hello." He has an infectious, positive energy, contagious smile, and big heart.
The legend genuinely cares about others, and he shows it. His hugs are known campus-wide. He inspires all of us to be more kind to one another. The legend demonstrates all the qualities expected of a David Wire scholar. He is compassionate, respectful, generous, and comes to school with a positive attitude each and every day. The legend will always try his best and persevere through challenging academic lessons. If there is something he doesn't know how to do, he wants to learn how to do it. The legend will always brighten your day with a big hug or words of affirmation. He's a shining star on our campus and beloved by many. We congratulate you, DeLegend Duff, for being honored tonight as one of the district's Students of the Month for November.
Testing. Okay. Good evening. Okay, wait a minute. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you all so much. I want to give you, all so much for this award. I'm really excited and a little surprised too. First, I want to thank my first grade teacher, second grade teacher, Miss Boss. Me learn this much this year. I also want to thank my first grade teacher, Miss Bowen, for always giving. I want something special. My dad, who passed away, named David, and my school named David Wield. So I believe that my dad chose this school for me. Sometimes learning can be hard, but I don't mind them. If my friends get frustrated, I mind them. It's okay, you're not bad at math. Sometimes you need to practice, and you will get good just like me. And thank you again for this amazing honor. You cannot have a bad day with the legend.
Okay, good job. Oh my God. Who do we have here from David A. Weir? Who's here cheering on this young man? Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Okay. Last but not least, can I please get Naomi Harper up here? Okay, baby girl. Naomi Harper, an 8th grader from Virtual Academy of Fairfield-Suisun, has been selected as one of the district's Students of the Month for November 2024. Naomi Harper has been an exceptional student at Virtual Academy for the past 4 years, consistently standing out as a role model in every aspect of school life. With an impressive 4.0 GPA, she has shown her commitment to excellence while also serving as president of the Student Council and editor of the school newspaper. Naomi's leadership skills, combined with her academic achievements and her sweet, genuine attitude, highlight her exceptional character. Over the last year, she has truly blossomed, taking on new challenges with enthusiasm and inspiring her peers through her dedication and positive example. Outside of Virtual Academy, Naomi enjoys writing and illustrating dystopian stories, practicing Taekwondo, reading, and caring for her 6 dogs. After Virtual Academy, Naomi would like to attend early college high school, followed by a 4-year college. She plans to major in literature. We congratulate you, Naomi, for being honored tonight as one of the district's Student of the Month for November.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board President Smith, Governing Board members, and members of the community. I'm Naomi Harper, and I've been granted an honor that I could never begin to repay. I wouldn't be standing here today without the help of several individuals. To start off, I would like to thank Ms. Taylor and Ms. Phillips, who both played a significant impact in supporting my learning. With just as much importance, thank you to Ms. Hutchinson for devoting herself to Virtual Academy and its students. I would also like to thank my Taekwondo instructors, Mr. and Mrs. Brantley, for teaching me discipline and how to display perseverance and integrity at a young age. Lastly, though equally important, thank you to my mom and dad for your constant words of encouragement and understanding. And thank you to my sisters for being 2 of the best friends I could ever have. Thank you, everyone, for the time you put into FSUSD, as we would not be what we are today without you. Thank you for selecting me as one of the District Student of the Month for the 2024 to 2025 school year.
I see our Virtual Academy principal. Are any of the other staff members here? We'd like to recognize you as well. Thank you very much, Virtual Academy.
Great. All right, we will go on to our next recognitions, which are for the 2024 Girls State Citizens. Jaden Baird, please.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board President Smith, members of the Governing Board, and members of the community. This evening, I will be recognizing 2 groups. First, I'd like to commend 2 students who have started a journey to better understanding the way in which our nation operates. American Legion Boys State and Girls State are among the most respected and selective educational programs of government instruction for U.S. high school students. Boys State and Girls State are participatory programs in which students become part of the operation of local, county, and state government. Participants learn the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of franchise citizens. The training is objective and is operated by students who are elected to various offices. Activities include, but are not limited to, legislative sessions, court proceedings, law enforcement, presentations, assemblies, bands, courses, and recreational programs. American Legion Auxiliary Unit 165 hosted 2 girls this year, and we have with us tonight a representative from Unit 165, Ms. Kelly Germerod, if you wouldn't mind joining me up here. We would like to, yes. We would like to present the following students with a certificate of honor, and if you wouldn't mind joining me here as well. Jalen Kraft from Armio High School. And Ms. Katrina Reyes from Rodriguez High School.
Good evening, and thank you for recognizing our Girl State Citizens for 2024. For Armio High School, this is their 5th year in participating in the program. For Rodriguez, this is their 1st year. So we are exceptionally proud to have them as part of our program. We send 7 schools between Vacaville, Vanden, and the Fairfield-Suisun schools. So we are very pleased with the outcome of our girls this year. And I won't go into a lot about Girl State. I attended 50 years ago this year, Girl State. Yeah. It's the cream I use, you know. But what I want to say is our unit has been sponsoring girls for 25 years. And one of the things that I think the girls come away the most with, and I hope that they do, is empowering themselves and the women around them. Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll go on to our next recognition of the Fairfield Fire Department and volunteers for providing engaging opportunities for Fairfield-Suisun students. I'm not going to read the rest of this because it's very lengthy. Mr. Jaden Baird, would you please take over?
Absolutely. If I can get the fire department to join me over here, please. Or the chief. I want it to feel safe. I am honored to also recognize the incredible efforts of the Fairfield Fire Department for their outstanding contribution to the youth in our community through their recent one-day academy. This event exemplifies the spirit of partnership and the commitment of empowering, or to empower and inspire the next generation. The Fairfield Fire Department organized this hands-on activity, which was open to all youth in our community, including students from FSUSD and neighboring districts. A total of 23 students attended the academy, with 21 coming from FSUSD and 2 from the neighboring districts. This wasn't just a day of learning, it was an immersive experience. The academy included activities that challenged students physically and mentally, such as fitness and agility exercises. They learned essential life-saving skills, including CPR, and got hands-on experience operating a fire hose and using forcible entry tools to gain access to a building. Students witnessed powerful demonstrations, including the use of the jaws of life to access a victim in a car, and the techniques firefighters use to enter a burning building and rescue someone from a second floor. They also gained valuable insights into what it takes to pursue a career in firefighting, sparking curiosity and ambition for future opportunities. Beyond the activities, the students enjoyed a barbecue provided by the Fairfield Professional Firefighters Association. This was not just a meal, but an opportunity to build connections and foster a sense of community. It's important to note that this incredible event was made possible by the contributions of 29 individuals from the Fairfield Fire Department and 2 from Medic Ambulance. Their dedication to our youth and their willingness to share their knowledge and experience and expertise created a memorable and impactful experience for all involved. On behalf of FSUSD, I want to express our deepest gratitude to the Fairfield Fire Department for their efforts and to the Fairfield Professional Firefighters Association for support. Events like this demonstrate the power of community collaboration and the profound impact it can have on our students' lives. Tonight, we recognize the Fairfield Fire Department not just for this event, but to our communities they've built schools. Thank you for your service, not just in emergencies, but in moments like this, where you go above and beyond to make a difference. Now, please, let's give them a round of applause. Chief, if you have a few words.
Thank you, Jade.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I just want to introduce a few of the people that helped make this night possible, or this academy possible. And really the motivation behind this, honestly, if I'm being honest with everybody, is selfish on the fire department's part, because we really want to look for our next recruits. So the motivation was to get the youth of the community interested in the fire service. And for us, one of our philosophies is if we grow our firefighters from the community through our Explorer program, our Reserve program, then they become lifelong firefighters for the city of Fairfield, and we don't lose them to other agencies. So I won't take up too much more time. I just wanted to introduce the folks behind me. Blake Dombrowski was the kind of the brains behind the day and how it went. Then we had our 2 structures, Captain Lauren Adams and Matt Sherman. On the other side, the FPFA President, Phil Bailey, and Vice President Mike Rudolph. In addition, Medic Ambulance was a big help in this as well. They provided an ambulance. And then I just wanted to recognize Chick-fil-A, who provided the breakfast, along with FPFA cooking the barbecue and donating the food for the lunch, which was great of them to do. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
I have 29 here, and I don't have them sorted, so I'm just going to give you the stuff.
Okay.
And then we can take a picture in the center.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry. All right. If you guys don't mind joining us in the center.
Thank you. And for our final recognition, myself, Ms. Honeychurch. Oh, okay. She has it under control, clearly. All right.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board President Smith, members of the board, and members of the community. So glad that you're here. It is my honor to stand before you tonight to recognize someone who has truly made a lasting difference in our community and our schools, Board President Bethany Smith. Could you please join me at the podium?
They're going to need to change to a different slide.
As Board President Smith steps down from her position on the school board, we join to reflect on her years of service, accomplishments, and the legacy she leaves behind. Bethany, your commitment to our students, teachers, and families has been nothing short of remarkable. Throughout your 8 years on the board, you have been a steadfast advocate for what matters most, providing every student with the tools they need to connect to their futures. Always keenly focused on career technical education pathways, your creation and nurturing of the Inspire program has increased our students' opportunities to explore new career pathways, resulting in changed lives and success as productive and skilled graduates. You have continuously been a strong voice for parents, especially because both of your children graduated from our schools during your tenure. Your vision and leadership have guided us through challenges and propelled us toward progress. Throughout your board service, you have championed innovative programs, facility improvements, and sound fiscal policies. Through your efforts, we've seen rising student achievement among all the English language learners, as evidenced tonight in the superintendent's report, greater inclusion through the multi-tier systems of support programs, and enhanced board and community collaboration. Your ability to listen, lead with compassion, make tough decisions, get in here a little bit, and inspire others has been a beacon for all of us. Whether it was closing and then safely reopening schools, bringing $250 million in bond funds to our learning community through the successful passage of Measure S, or the service you provided through your ad hoc committee work, reviewing and making recommendations on job descriptions affecting all of our employees, you approached every moment with grace and determination. As board president twice, board vice president and clerk, and through your work on the facilities subcommittee, you have worked relentlessly to ensure that each member's voice is heard, respecting all viewpoints, as well as the time of each of the trustees, our staff, and our community. It is a reminder of the heart you pour into this work and the deep care you have for this community. As you leave this role, please know that your contributions will continue to shape our schools for years to come. The initiatives you've championed, the policies you've helped craft, and the partnerships you've built have created a foundation that will serve future generations. On behalf of the board, the district, and the entire community, we thank you. We thank you for your time, your energy, and your unwavering commitment to doing what is right for our students. We wish you all the best in the next chapter of your journey. While your role here may be changing, your impact remains indelible. Thank you, Bethany, for everything. We have a plaque for you as a token of our appreciation that I would like to present to you now. And it has all of her years of service. Here, I'll let you hold it because you're the honoree. Like to see me?
So anybody who knows me knows I'm a crier, so they brought me tissues. So I will just say thank you. And yeah, thank you all.
Next, I have the honor of inviting Vice President Judy Honeychurch to join me at the podium. hold her for you if we're going to get all dirty. You could just stand there and hold it if you want. Okay. We gather to express our deepest gratitude and appreciation for someone who has made a permanent impact on our community since her first board meeting 13 years ago. Judy, as you step down from your role as vice president of this school board, we want to take this moment to honor your dedication, leadership, and tireless commitment to our schools, our students, and families. It is remarkable to reflect that you have served as board president 3 times, vice president 5 times, and clerk. From the moment you joined the board, it was clear that you approached every decision with a steadfast commitment to what mattered most, the success and well-being of our students. You brought a unique perspective to us, having been the only board member to have been a parent, a central office administrator, a principal in the district, a volunteer art teacher in the district, and a longtime and very involved community member. During your tenure, the Public Safety Academy was first opened and then expanded into a flagship program modeled throughout the United States, also a blue ribbon school, per the report from U.S. News. Through the hiring of Superintendent Corey, your vision of creating theme-based schools of choice came real to the benefit of all of our learning community. We have schools of choice as a result of this woman's work. The legacy continues through the hiring of our current superintendent, Sachs. Whether it was championing new initiatives to improve classroom learning, navigating the challenges of distance learning and its effects, or inspiring our community to approve almost $500 million, that's $500 million, in bond funding in support of our aging facilities, your leadership and board service have been a guiding light for all of us. Your ability to listen with compassion, build consensus, and ensure every voice at the table was heard has left an impact that will continue to shape our district for years to come. You're never one to shy away from tough conversations, always balancing the challenges of today with a hopeful vision for tomorrow. Oh. You will be remembered for keeping what is best for kids at the forefront of your decision-making. As you step down, know that your legacy remains. The initiatives you've supported, the relationships you have nurtured, and the trust you have built within our community are testaments to your leadership. While your title may change, we are confident that your passion for education and community service will continue to inspire others. On behalf of the entire board, our district, and our community, thank you, Judy, for your years of service, your unwavering dedication, and your incredible impact. You have set a high standard for what it means to lead with heart and integrity. We wish you all the best in the next chapter of your journey, and we look forward to seeing how you will continue to make a difference in the lives of others. Thank you, Judy. Here, come here. Thank you.
She wants to talk.
I have just a brief few words. It is with both a sense of pride and gratitude that I bid farewell to my role on the school board after 13 years of service. It has been an honor to serve this community, and while it's bittersweet to reflect on all that is accomplished, I am hopeful for the future of our schools and students. When I first joined the board, I did not fully understand the governing role of a board member and how different it is from being a teacher or an administrator, as I once was. I am hopeful that our new board members understand the importance to remember the role of a trustee. We're here to govern, not administrate. In the years I've spent on this board, I've witnessed significant changes. From COVID epidemic to passing 2 school bond measures to improve our school facilities and to make them safer for all. While my time on the board is coming to an end, I am proud of what we've accomplished during my tenure. Whether it was keeping the district fiscally sound, expanding career technical education programs, opening schools of choice such as the PSA, or ensuring that every child, regardless of background, has the opportunity to succeed. As I transition away from the board, I am hopefully optimistic that the next generation of board members will continue the work we've started, always keeping the needs of students at the forefront of every decision. Thank you. Oh, no. Perry, would you please join me here at the podium? Thank you, sir. Perry, we would like to take a moment to honor and celebrate your many contributions during your tenure as a dedicated trustee. Perry stepped back into this role after a resignation and brought his sense of calm and experience to the hiring of our new superintendent. He fulfilled the role with a commitment of ensuring the success and well-being of every student in our district. Over the course of his tenure, he has been a steadfast advocate for quality education, equity, and community engagement. Perry's leadership has helped us in passing key initiatives, supporting new programs, addressing challenges, and fostering collaboration. Beyond the boardroom, Perry brought compassion, insight, and a deep sense of responsibility to his work. He consistently went above and beyond to listen to our community, collaborate with fellow board members, and champion solutions that reflect our shared values and aspirations. On behalf of the school board, district, and community, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to you, Perry, for your tireless service, relentless wisdom and experience, and the lasting impact you have made. We know that your dedication has touched countless lives, from the students who have benefited from your vision to the staff and families inspired by your leadership. Perry, as you transition from this role, we wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. We know that wherever you go, you'll continue to make a difference. We'd like to present you with this plaque as a small gesture of our immense gratitude. Thank you, Perry, for everything you've done for our community and for being a true champion of education. Please join me in giving Perry a round of applause. Do you want to say something now?
Of course.
Okay.
In 1982, when I retired from the Air Force at Travis, I'd gotten a job in Concord. I decided I would volunteer to this community. Mayor Gary Filati appointed me to the Recreation Commission. And over the next 7 years, the commission's name changed two times. I got to participate in the foundation of the 2 golf courses and the Fairfield Center for Creative Arts, now known as the Downtown Theater. I was the chair of the task force that designed the theater. I opted to run for the city council and was elected by 62 votes. 2 years later, I ran for the mayor position. I was not selected. 2 years after that, I ran for my seat on the council, and I was not elected. My last act was to sponsor for the community a forum in hopes that the new C-17 aircraft would be based at Travis. All of this time, I was employed at Mount Diablo Unified School District as the IT director. Superintendent Sachs and I had the opportunity to work in one of the outstanding school districts in California under superior leadership. I was there for 18 and a half years. When our Measure C was passed in Fairfield-Suisun, I was the first chair of the Bond Oversight Committee. We created processes used by all oversight committees in California, and some of those ideas came into law. In 2010, I was appointed to the board and served for 4 years. We created the Public Safety Academy, 4 K-12 or K-8 schools, and unfortunately we had to shred the budget and close schools. My last year on the board, I was president when we selected Chris Corey as superintendent. She turned out to be the most outstanding superintendent that Fairfield-Suisun has had since the very first one, Tom Junie. The events that led to her retirement were unconscionable. We had to create the area system. David Isom and I lived in the same area. We agreed that we would not run against each other. When David resigned, I was appointed again to this board in September of 2023. And I believe I've made a difference. I'm proud that we selected Jennifer Sachs as our superintendent. I want to thank you for this opportunity. I believe so strongly in public education that it has become a passion for me. I want to say that Bethany Smith has been an outstanding president. I could not have done better. It was great to serve with Helen Tilley and Judy Honeychurch again. With this election, I end 42 years in public service to this community. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I'll take that with me.
Okay, well, that was a lot of recognitions, and you guys have been ever so patient. And so those of you who solely came for that, if you are ready to go and celebrate with your families, we would invite you to do that while we take a little pause. Thank you. All right, so this is where it gets about 10 degrees cooler in the room. So, and if any of you in the back who are seated on the floor or would like to move up, we've got plenty of available seats at this point. So, it is at this point in our meeting that we shift to public communication. This is the opportunity for the public to address items that are not on the board meeting agenda. Public comment is only permitted on matters within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, and each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes, up to 30 minutes of speaking time. And after all of the cheers and tears and everything, it is people are prone to clapping and making other responses, audible responses to speakers. I would ask that you please refrain from doing so at this time and for the rest of the meeting. All right, Madam Clerk.
Hi. So we have 9 speakers this evening. The first speaker is Chris Mears.
Good evening. So my name is Chris Mears. I'm a teacher here in the district. I'm a special education teacher. I teach a TAP class at Oakbrook Academy of the Arts. And I just wanted to express some of the concerns that I have with our special education program. When I started in the district, I had 8 students in my class. Each of their IEPs indicated that the TAP program had a 1-to-2 staff to student ratio. The following year, we were told to exchange that phrase with the phrase a lower staff to student ratio without giving a specific number. I understand the reasoning behind that, but each year since then, my class has grown in size as well as all other classes. And so the reason for the TAP program is because we have students that require a setting that has less distraction, more personalized instruction, and more attention from staff. Even IEPs, removing students from the general ed classrooms, that the benefits of doing so will outweigh any harmful effects of doing that. So when our staff to student ratios are lower, I feel like that it is more beneficial for our students with specific needs to be placed in programs like TAP or FA. But when class sizes are put up to past 10 students, it becomes less and less beneficial. Like I said, these children, they need less distraction and more attention than their typically developing peers. When numbers are up to 14, 15, or 16 students, each with behaviors that are very distracting, it's hard to describe the TAP or FA class as being a more suitable environment for a child's needs. I know that we have a teacher shortage, but we really need more teachers, we need more classes, we need more paraeducators. I know several individuals who have applied to be paraeducators, but have never been called back. I know people who applied to be teachers or substitute teachers, and it took them over a month to get a call back for an interview. And if people aren't going to wait they're not going to wait around that long. They need jobs. They're going to find it somewhere else. I know of one individual who applied to be a paraeducator in the district, and when they came to be interviewed, they were convinced by someone in the district office to take a clerical job instead. There are several TAP and FA classes that are extremely understaffed. There are classes with no teachers. There are classes with 1 or no paras. There's no way that the services of the students in these classes are being met. Even in classes that are fully staffed, it's almost impossible to give each student the attention that they need, nor the mainstream minutes they are supposed to receive, nor the quality of academic instruction that they deserve. The whole purpose of any public...
I'm sorry, Mr. Mears, your time is up, but thank you. The next speaker is Allison Short. Is that Ms. Short's statement? Okay, thank you. Oh. Next in order is Angel Hickson.
I don't think I'm going to be as good a speaker as the young people tonight, so please be kind. Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Angel Hickson, and I am the mother of a current student here and 2 alumni. We are here tonight because we recently were made aware that the Delta program at H. Glenn Richardson is being reviewed and determine the future of this program. You will likely hear the advisory committee recommendations are to close the program, and that is not true. I attended the last advisory committee meeting, and all 8 members agreed it was best to keep it open to restructure. I'm sorry. So what I'm asking the board tonight is that as you review the report that'll come to you in December, and I'm just asking that you make an informed decision and look beyond what is provided. Whatever decision you make will have a huge impact not only for current students, but also for future students who would have been sent to HGR. Just as the district hasn't been transparent with us, I'm doubtful they'll be transparent with you. So please make sure that you get all of the information before you make a decision. With that said, I'm the mother of a child who has a severe disability, autism, and profound intellectual disability. And he has attended HGR since 2nd grade and was just placed in a non-public school last week, and he's in Lodi. He was likely their biggest, most intensive students with the highest need. He was 16 years old today and is 315 pounds and 6'3". He was destructive, aggressive, and self-injurious, but yet a big teddy bear when he is not dysregulated. The staff at Delta took care of my son, loved him, taught him, and believed in him. They did not want to give up on him, that's their words, and send him to a non-public school, but they just couldn't keep him safe anymore. So Delta has provided so many students the opportunity to stay in their community, to socialize and create a network that otherwise wouldn't have happened. My son travels an hour and 15 minutes every day to get to school, spends a full day at school, and then drives back an hour and 15 minutes. He doesn't have the stamina to go out into his community at that point. So we're gonna miss that opportunity. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Adam Weber.
Good evening. I am Adam Weber. So you'll see a lot of us talking about the situation in Delta. We are part of a bigger group called Parents Empowering Parents. We have over 1,600 members here inside Solano County, made up of all schools and all the school districts here within Solano County. We are a huge group that care a lot about what's going on here with public education. And our group is not new. Our group is 15 years old, started by our very own Angel Hickson here. Like many others, I strongly oppose what's going on with the proposed closure of Delta at the H. Glenn Richardson. The secrecy around the closure was alarming. We found out through a leak that somehow, the district didn't want the parents to know, and it was specific that they wanted to keep it from the parents. If it closes, what's next? Should it be other cuts to special education? Should it be death to 1,000 cuts by 1,000 cuts to special education? Will it be paras, and will it be speech therapists? Will it be OTs? Will it be teachers? Will it be who knows what else will come? And will it happen in secrecy because they're too scared to let parents know? Should you be taking away from special education? I think it's more important that the district focuses on adding more to special education, seeing as though the prevalence of autism has now grown to 1 in 35 children. Thank you so much.
next speaker is Julia Routson Thomas.
Hello, everybody. I come here in support tonight of the district actually supporting special education and making decisions in a transparent and legal manner. It is disappointing to me that the district has an attorney or has an advisory committee meeting, but did not actually advertise this meeting. I know because I looked for it, and I'm not stupid. I know how to look, I promise you, and I couldn't find it anywhere. You guys are legally required to actually post these meetings. So when the district tries to go around the public and make decisions, it opens itself to paying for lawsuits and penalties rather than paying for education. I do think that the board should not be talking about Glenn Robertson School next month, as the new board will be sworn in. And quite frankly, that is an inappropriate time to be discussing something of this importance for a brand new board, as well as the advisory committee really needing to actually meet and publicize and talk to parents and stakeholders like you advertised that you were trying to do and did not do. And actually doing that rather than hiding what you're trying to do. People have a right to actually give you opinions. You have the right to vote however you want, and we have the right to vote you out. That's how it works. So let's go ahead and follow the law on that. As a side note, hearing the superintendent talking about retaining staff while eliminating the paraeducator level 3 position, which is the highest paid position of that level, or in that category, seems to be at odds with each other, as well as apparently not calling people back for interviews, so probably should work on that too.
Excuse me. Our next speaker is Nicole Neff. Thank you, Nicole Neff. And the next deferred speaker is Krista Poe, who was the next speaker in order. So yay, go you.
So do I get 6 minutes? My name is Krista Poe, and I'm coming to you today as a special needs parent and community member. In my opinion, there are 2 things that are essential when it comes to special education and our children. The first is open and honest communication, because let's face it, our special needs children cannot actually tell us what's going on in their lives. The second most important thing is trust, because as parents, we must trust you, because we leave our most valuable people with you for 6 hours a day. The only way that you can have trust is if you have open and honest communication. These 2 things go hand in hand. And today, as you can see by the large group of people that are gathered here, we feel like we've had a breach of trust. There has not been open communication with the community and with the families that are part of this school. It has not happened. Transparency equals trust. Isn't it interesting that last week was the first time that anyone heard that there was going to be a proposition to close H. Glenn Richardson, the Delta program? There was supposedly an advisory committee that met 3 times, but no one really found out about it until the night before the last meeting. And I can assure you, as a parent, you guys can reach me if you need to reach me, whether it's an IEP or it's some school function that's going on for a party. I'm not hard to reach. We can get texts, we can get emails, we can get phone calls, and by far, I can also get a flyer home in my child's backpack, right? So you can reach us. It's inexcusable. They are already operating this school as if it's already been closed. There's currently kids that need this campus, and they're being turned away. They're operating as if it's already closed. And the kids are already at the school, they're actually offering FAPE for them to magically go back to their campuses that they're from. So that seems kind of interesting, because pretty soon you're going to be figuring out budgets for what's going on next school year with a campus that's not fully functioning the way it's supposed to be functioning right now, which is alarming, right? They're manipulating this situation right now behind the scenes and in closed context to meet their own personal agendas, which is inexcusable. I'm pretty sure somewhere along the lines you're going to hear that we're having a funding issue, and that's the reason that they might consider closing the school, which also doesn't quite make sense, because all of the kids that come to the school have a dollar amount that follows them to the campus. So if the kids come from another area, Benicia, Travis, Vacaville, Dixon, Fairfield, they come with a dollar amount to them, and the schools need to be billing that school needs to be billing back to the other school districts, right? That's actually not happening. So if you go check that, you'll see that's not happening right now. Where are you going to place the students? Because as of right now, there is not enough place in our district campus, especially classrooms. You just heard from a teacher that verified that. There's not room in the county programs. They're actually turning away students as well. And there's only 2 non-public schools, and they're actually full. And if they happen to have an opening, it's very specific to very specific.
Thank you. Our next speaker is...
Excuse me, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Zoe Bailey.
Good evening. My name is Zoe Bailey, and I live in Fairfield with my husband and 2 beautiful daughters. My eldest daughter is 4 years old and had the luck ultra genetic a range of challenges, including intellectual disability, severe speech impairment, and behavior issues. She is currently in her 2nd year of special education, and I know that navigating these systems will be a part of our lives throughout our entire educational journey that we have just begun. I'm here to express my strong opposition to the proposed closure of the Delta program. My first concern is the lack of transparency surrounding the proposed closure. Parents and community members have not been given clear, open communication about the reasoning behind the decisions, leaving us in the dark about how these changes are going to affect all of us. Our community deserves transparency, especially when it involves the future of our babies. My second concern is the critical shortage of schools and classrooms for children with the highest needs like my daughter. As the number of children who require specialized support continue to rise, the resources available to them continue to diminish. While we understand that budget constraints are a reality, it is critical that our children are seen, understood, and prioritized in their decisions. These are the children who need us most, and we cannot afford to let them fall through all of the cracks. I know firsthand how difficult it is to prepare for a child's future when the services and supports they need are uncertain. The idea that children like mine may not have access to the resources they need, or worse, be sent to distant regions away from their homes is just heartbreaking. The enormous amount of money that is spent relocating students to other regions is not a sustainable solution. We need local, creative solutions that allow us to support our children here. Let's please work together to find solutions with transparency with the parents and our community together.
And our final speaker
Please
is...
refrain from clapping or making any other audible responses, please. I'm asking you very nicely to not do that. If we continue, then it's going to have to be a recess for us. I would do the same if somebody was booing what you had to say. So please refrain. Thank you.
Thank you. She does my job better than I do. All right, and our final speaker is Yan Ping Chong.
Good evening. My name is Yan Ping Chong, and also I'm here to speak for proposed object to the closing of Delta program. And we heard enough parents talking about worry about transparency. I just want to share a little bit of my personal experience because I have a son that's 10 years old. He's autistic, and he has been attending Oak Brook Academy of Arts since he was like 1st grade. So, but this year he had a surge of behavior. So basically, we were called to pick him up like 3-4 times a day before the lunchtime, because they cannot handle the behavior. So one time I was there, and the principal called me, and she offered me 2 options. Option 1, take your kid home. Option 2, stay here and be with him. I was told they are not staffed to handle his behavior. So, you know, they schedule IEP like a month later. We wait a month, and my husband and I had to take time off work because school cannot accommodate my son. Okay, so wait a whole month, and we were accepted to Delta program. My son just started Delta like less than a month, and I got this news that the programs were closed. I don't know what's next for him and what's next for us. We have been through a lot of hardship. I don't have time. I don't want to burden you with that. However, even with the Delta program, the school transportation for him is 3 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours a day for a 10-year-old kids with behavior issues, right? I don't know whether the next program, where they will be located. The driving distance from the Delta to our house is 20 minutes. That translates to 3 hours, round trip. If he's gonna go to Sacramento or Concord, I don't know whether going to school is really helping his behavior. So just imagine just as an adult, if you have to commute that long every day, it's already a stress. So I really thinking about the funding as well. So I don't know whether how this is gonna work. These kids, are they gonna send him back to Oak Brook? Are we gonna pick him up 3 times a week? So he has to go somewhere. So that somewhere is not gonna cost less than Delta. So I wanna just share this information and share my personal experience. Thank you very much.
There are no further public speakers.
Thank you. All right, we move on to consent calendar. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent calendar? No? Any public comment on the consent calendar?
The next public comment is on item 11B, so no.
Okay.
May I move approval of the consent calendar?
Can you please let me know if anybody does want to speak sooner than 11B? Okay, did you move the?
I moved the consent calendar.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. 11A, we have the 2024 to 25 comprehensive school safety plans. Is there a motion?
Oh, move approval.
Second.
Okay. Preferential vote?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there discussion? Okay. Preferential vote is yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. 11B, ethnic studies course proposal, review and potential approval.
We have a public speaker on this one.
Yes, and we have a presentation. We'll take the public speaker first, though, please.
And so I'll invite Lillian Hall forward on 11B.
Good evening, members of the board, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm here to discuss ways we can enhance civic engagement, enrich our students' learning experiences, and support the delivery of ethnic studies in our schools. First, I believe there are numerous opportunities for civic engagement within our community. Field trips to local historical sites, such as those that reflect the rich and diverse history of Solano County, could provide the students with a tangible connection to the past. These trips would not only deepen their understanding of local history, but also instill a sense of pride and belonging in their community. There are also valuable local resources and partnerships that could significantly enrich the learning experiences. It would be significant to partner with organizations and local tribes. Additionally, it is just as important to have culturally relevant books available for the students in this district. To ensure the effective delivery of ethnic studies, it is essential that we provide ongoing professional development for our teachers, particularly in trauma-informed care, as students engage with the difficult histories. Teachers and administrators need the tools to create safe, welcoming classrooms. In addition, ethnic studies should not be limited to high school. We must introduce these vital lessons early across K through 8, so that students can begin to explore identity, history, and culture at a young age. A semester of ethnic studies is simply not enough. We need a sustained, comprehensive approach to ensure that these lessons have a lasting impact. My hope for students who complete the ethnic studies course is that they leave with a passion to continue their exploration in college, their adult lives, or even activism in high school. I want them to begin healing from generational trauma, to feel empowered, and to carry that empowerment into their community. By providing resources that support social justice, we give them the tools to build a better, more equitable future. Finally, we must ensure that all students have the support they need to thrive. Our district needs to create spaces where students feel safe, heard, and seen, whether through trusted staff members or community leaders. We must also address the missed opportunities in K-8 instruction, ensuring that all lessons are culturally responsive and inclusive. In conclusion, ethnic studies is not just a course. It is an opportunity for transformation. Let's invest in our students, our teachers, and our community so that we can create a more informed future for us all. My name is Lillian Hall, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Dr. Farrar, if you would, I have your name down. Are you making a presentation?
Point of information.
Okay.
A point of information.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize there were three. I thought you said we had a speaker.
Forgive me. Once again, I didn't scroll up, so my apologies. We have Christina Jackson, followed by Lana Raspberry.
Hi. Do you want me to just, okay. Hello, thank you. Hi, my name is Christina Jackson. I am a parent of 5 FSUSD children. One of mine just graduated from Rodriguez. I have a kindergartner, a 3rd grader, a 5th grader, and a 7th grader, all in Fairfield Unified School District schools. I'm also a member of the NAACP. I'm a DEI consultant and practitioner, and I'm a former high school chemistry teacher. I taught in Vallejo, I taught Vacaville Christian, North Hills Christian. And I want to start by saying I support having an ethnic studies course. I echo other concerns about it being semester versus year. However, I understand that the school board and there are other things at play there. But I think that having an ethnic studies course is amazing and it's a great idea. One thing that I want to say today, though, is to highlight a current gap in the conversations I've been having with certain folks at FSUSD about this course, and that is we really are going to need to address the way that history is taught K-8. So by the time students get to 9th grade, they have already likely identified with and internalized problematic narratives around history because of the way that it's taught. And so what's going to happen is when we get students in the 9th grade or beyond and they're learning accurate, culturally responsive history, they're not only going to be learning the content that they must master and be tested on, but they're also going to have to unlearn the things that they learned in the past. So we're going to be fighting 2 battles at the same time. So we really do need to address what is taught K-8. Now, for example, we have some 4th grade teachers, 4th grade classrooms that are still doing Spanish missions projects. I did one when I was in 4th grade, and they very much romanticize colonization. They don't always teach the truth about indigenous cultures. They don't always teach the truth about what happened to cultures and children at those locations. Additionally, my 2nd grader last year was taught an oversimplified version of the history of Thanksgiving. So we have these things happening. Now, I don't say this as a slight or a criticism to our educators at FSUSD. I know that a lot of them are working incredibly hard. I only say this to offer some possible solutions. Because I'm a former public school teacher, I know that there are budget constraints. We have difficulty doing pretty much anything that costs money. And also, what we're proposing here is out of scope for the ethnic studies course. We proposed a course. We did not propose K-8 changes. That being said, I have a couple of ways we can do this for virtually no money. Number 1, establish a volunteer curriculum review team made of parents, community members, etc. Number 2, organize teacher-led workshops, teachers that already have vetted culturally responsive curriculum and lesson plans and have that available. And number 3, create a digital repository to have those lessons available to teachers at their hands so they're not going to teachers pay teachers. Thank you.
And our last speaker is Lana Raspberry.
Good evening, Superintendent. I'm speaking in support of the proposed ethnic studies curriculum, and my name is Lana Raspberry, and I am the Social Action Chairperson representing Solano Valley Delta Sigma Sorority, and our chapter president, Lisa Grant Dawson. Delta Sigma Theta is a 111-year-old organization of college-educated women with more than 300,000 members in the U.S. and around the globe. We're a sisterhood founded on scholarship, public service, and social action. I am also a retired elementary school teacher in this district. I worked at David A. Weir and Suisun Elementary. I am also in the company tonight of other chapter members. We're all dressed in red, our colors. And we are excited and encouraged that the school district will be implementing the state-mandated ethnic studies course to be included in the high school curriculum with the goal of becoming a required graduation, a graduation requirement. We commend the hard work and dedication of the teachers that developed the curriculum based on the state model. Proposed teaching modules are a starting point for a very overdue conversation on equity and access, justice, and the too often dismissed history of race and culture in this country, especially in our school textbooks. We believe that all students will benefit from this impactful interactive learning experience and apply critical thinking skills to analyze the facts and form their own opinions, especially in this climate of book banning, blatant misinformation, disinformation, and the attempt to remove or minimize the history, culture, and contributions of non-European groups that have been an integral part of the shaping of this American landscape and the weaving of American story. Hopefully, we have moved beyond the once standard cultural sensitivity training that mainly focused on adult relationships, was not always effective, scratched the surface, and was only occasionally exercised and reinforced. Solano Valley Alumni Chapter supports a contemporary, refreshed approach that will enrich students' understanding of other cultures, empower students to think for themselves, give them a foundation to further grow in societal relationships, do their own research, and seek the truth. This gives us hope that in the future generations, our future leaders will be much more informed and inclusive. It is also a beginning of eventually expanding this program. We would like to see all board members support the critical course of study for the benefit of all students. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now Dr. Farrar, please.
Good evening, Superintendent Sachs, Board President Smith, and Governing Board. I'm here to bring the Ethnic Studies course proposal to the board for review and potential approval. We've been working on this Ethnic Studies course since early in 2022. In September 2024, the Governing Board was introduced to the course proposal, followed by an October update that incorporated feedback from the Curriculum Council, parent leaders, and other groups. Tonight, we're here to present the additionally gathered input from November and seek the board's review and potential approval. As a reminder, our curriculum writing team, many of whom are here tonight, selected a thematic approach for our course in alignment with the California Ethnic Studies Model Framework for this semester-long course. Students will learn how history, society, and politics shape personal and group identities and use intersectionality to understand social justice movements and the impact of working together to promote fairness and equality. Information about the Ethnic Studies course was sent to community partners in October. Additionally, on November 12th, the district held a community input session in person to review the course proposal and the key questions that are displayed here. Here are some of the things community partners had to say. First, they highlighted opportunities for civic engagement, such as field trips to local historical and cultural sites that reflected our community's history and provide hands-on learning experiences for students. They also emphasized collaborating with local grassroots organizations to strengthen students' connections with their communities. Community partners also suggested leveraging local voices and resources. By inviting guest speakers and drawing on the lived experience of community members, we can celebrate diversity and provide meaningful context for both teachers and students. They also identified key supports for teachers, including curriculum resources and professional development in trauma-informed care. Community input also shared the desire to have ethnic studies as a year-long course rather than just a semester, and particularly more instruction in kindergarten through 8th grade. Finally, they shared hopes for students, such as increasing awareness that other cultures are active, living contributors to our society, not just a part of history. They want to inspire students to explore cultural issues beyond high school, engage in activism, and foster healing from generational trauma. Pending board approval, the next steps include staff recommending instructional materials, identifying teachers, and providing professional development in spring of 2025 to prepare for implementation. Starting in the 25-26 school year, FSUSD will offer an ethnic studies course. By the 29-30 school year, all seniors will be required to meet the ethnic studies graduation requirement. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. All right, well, this is actually an action item this time, so I will be going ahead and moving approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, and board discussion. Mr. Flynn, Mr. Polk, and then Ms. Patero.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone who's here. So I strongly support, and I will be voting yes on this motion. I think that the ethnic studies proposal before us is key to creating well-rounded students who are committedly to be actively anti-racist members of our community. I'd also wholeheartedly advocate for our administration to continue to support comprehensive partnerships through this process, whether that be with the County Office of Education, local community groups, teachers, classified, student groups. And we need to make sure that we recognize diverse voices through this process that historically have not been represented in the decision-making process. For everyone who followed this from the very beginning, you all know I strongly support a year-long course. I think it would have been best for our students and families, making sure that that we fully address this. However, since the board went with that, I am still strongly supporting this semester-based course. It's a significant step forward for students and families. And I just want to say I agree with what was said in public comment. We need to review how K-8 history is taught. It shouldn't just be one semester. It should be 13 years of comprehensive support for DEI. It should be making sure that we have a foundation for every student. So it's not just when you get to high school, it's a foundation of inclusivity. And I just want to note that us board members are preparing to go to a convention coming up in Anaheim, and Superintendent Sachs. And I want everyone here to think about when we are going to workshops, when we are going to conventions, and then we're going to bring it back to FSUSD, how can we see things through a lens of equity? How can we see things through a lens of diversity? How can we not just vote for something at a board meeting, but how can we actively go out in the community and actually make a difference? And if there's anything we can do to support our administrators and our teachers and the people who are actually doing the day-to-day work in this, I want to do that. So I strongly support approval, and I would urge my colleagues to be a strong yes on this motion. Thank you.
Mr. Polk, Ms. Patero.
Well, each of us probably has a different take on the curriculum. I said in the beginning when we started discussing this that I just object to the language and the tenor of the proposed curriculum. I feel that it feeds right into the narrative of the reactionaries that are about to descend upon us. We've got a lot of trigger words in our curriculum that will inflame, not help people understand. The state model of ethics studies curriculum and our adoption are laudable goals, but I believe they open us to accusations and attack by those who do not want us to study ethnicity other than the lily white one. We live in an ethnically and religiously diverse community. We make pride of that. We are proud of that. but it is the antithesis of the worldview and mindset that wants us to return to the late 40s. I lived through that era in an overtly segregated society, and I assure you, we don't want that again. The way I would approach this subject is to introduce the 4 ethnic groups, one at a time, in their historical and social context, and the intersection with other cultures. This would make it easier to explain the reason for ethnic studies to those who want to dismantle it. I want to reiterate that I want us to have a course in ethnic studies, just not this way. I think there's a lot at stake, and we have to look ahead at what probably is going to come about. And we can avoid those problems if we change the way we're approaching this particular curriculum. Thank you.
Ms. Patero and then Ms. Perry.
A couple of years ago, when I was assigned to Suisun Elementary, I had the opportunity to attend and hang out with kindergarten students. And I came back to this. I hung out with them in the fall, and I came back in the spring, and it was right after the holidays. And I asked the students, and these are 5-year-olds, mind you, I said, "How was your Christmas?" And this one little girl said to me, "We don't celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Eid." Well, I got an education that day. And we heard a public speaker today tell us that we should be incorporating ethnic studies from K through 8 in addition to high school, so that when they get to high school, it's not a shock and go, "Oh my gosh, I'm learning this for the first time. I heard about Rosa Parks. All I did was hear about her on the bus. I didn't hear about read about or learn about all of the others," right? When we read about Martin Luther King Jr., typically we focus on his I Have a Dream speech in 1963. We don't talk about more deeply the civil rights movements back to Medgar Evers and all those before. So we kind of brush over it. And so I think young people who live these experiences can educate us all. They educated me. I'm 61 years old. I got educated by a 5-year-old. So now I say happy holidays because of that. And so our children can educate us and teach us about their different cultures and the like, and what they learn at home and what they bring to school. I thought that's really important. And as Board Member Flynn said, when all of the studies were done, the majority of groups wanted to have a year-long program. I think by introducing a semester-long program, we can eventually expand it to a year, maybe expand it also to our K through 8 schools as well. One of the primary things I want to look at is, I was looking at a few years ago, we're looking at the curriculum at PSA. And at PSA, they teach, not only do they teach U.S. history, they teach European history. You should be learning about the history here. We already learned about the background of U.S. history comes from all of the what do you call it? What happened before it was, and who was brought to this country and who came to this country voluntarily. We're not learning about that equitably and from a more broad lens. So I really, really thank Dr. Farrar and his staff and the district for putting together this course and for talking to all of the leaders and the community members in and around our community. And if we can start it here, we can always expand it to our other schools and look at how we're teaching history. And not only are we teaching American history and teaching European history and whatever other kind of history we're teaching, they need to be all included in understanding intersectionality, understanding the different cultures and the different groups. The majority of our students are non-white students in this district. They can teach us so much, again, about their cultures and teach the teachers, teach the administration, and teach us as board members. So thank you all so much for all of your hard work. Thank you to all of the members of the community who provided input. And I hope, just listening to all of the wonderful comments today, that we can eventually expand it so that all of our students can experience that. Like we just heard, we don't want our students to be shocked in the 9th grade or 10th grade, like, oh my gosh, we're learning this for the first time, and to have to unlearn 8 years of studying, of schooling. So that is just antithetical to education. We don't want the students to go back. If we start from the beginning and then we can incorporate and expand that, I think that makes us a richer, more well-rounded community, especially for our students and on all of us involved, from whether or not you're 2 years old or 92 years old, we can all benefit. So thank you all so much, and thank you for all the comments.
Thank you. Ms. Perry?
I want to start off by saying thank you for this continued discussion and everybody who's worked on it so far. And as Ms. Botero said, I think this is a wonderful reminder as we come up to the holidays. I remember having to build a mission when I was in the 4th grade, and we had to go on a tour to one, and the tour guide the whole time was talking all of this, and my Black mom was behind me sure, yep, of course, yeah. And I think that, again, this is wonderful, especially now that we're talking about expanding it to younger kids. Because I really, truly believe that, celebrating diversity is amazing, but also celebrating identity from such a young age, because kids try so hard to find who they are. And if they're not represented, they're never going to find who they are. And even though I don't really get to approve it, I do truly support it, and also supporting it to be year-long, and like I said, to younger children, so we can start building that emotional intelligence that is so vital as they grow up and they go into high school, already young adults, that they know before they even come into these halls, and the very halls that I go through. And I listen to 3 different languages as I'm going from class to class, and I listen to Spanish and Tagalog and all these different languages, and I really truly want to see everybody represented. My only thing is I don't want this to sit. So many history courses that I've had to learn that is so outdated and is so timed out. I want this to be updated. There's always new math that I have to learn that didn't exist last year. I want this to keep being modernized and renewed, because we live in such a progressive world where things change every single day. So thank you, and I just want to applaud you all who have worked on this and who support it. And thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Tilley?
As you know from our last meeting, I fully support this, and I'm particularly impressed with the, there's a term for it, a thematic approach that Dr. Farrar and her team bring to each subject area, so that everyone has an opportunity to figure it out, to engage their curiosity, and again, to get out of that culture of grievance. Regarding expanding that program, I'm not against it. This board cut $13.5 million to balance our budget last year. A big chunk of that was our textbook adoption money, $6 million. And that's just for math and English. This year, we'll be cutting our textbook adoption. We won't be funding that textbook adoption. We have just enough money to deal with getting our math updated and continuing our reading. So if there's really a desire to in fact expand or to revise or to update history curriculum, which I fully applaud and I'm willing to do it. But there has to be, we got to put our money where our mouth is. We can't afford that right now in this district, and that's a shame. And that's the priorities of the reality of our budget. So yeah, history needs to be updated. We update everything else, but at the same time, I'm struck by the reality of what this board has been forced to do as a result of budget. So we'll just have to keep our heads together, figure out ways to make textbook updating and coming into the 21st century, ethnic studies courses like this one a reality. I'm also very sensitive, however, to our seniors. And we also have another mandate for financial education, which is necessary. When somebody doesn't know how to write a check, I know they're gone, you guys, but those types of skills are also going to be mandated. And every time we add a course, I'm just addressing now the comments regarding why didn't we make it a year-long course? Because if we have to now have another companion course in financial literacy, which I fully applaud as well, that's 2 electives that our seniors don't get, okay? But they are mandated, and I want them to have those classes. So I'm not sure how to work the expansion, but I'm all for this program, and the work that's been done on this has been amazing in this district. So I vote in favor of this program.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Polk? Yes?
Well, I want to tag up on what Ms. Tilley just talked about. We are at a point where we have actually only one elective in an entire 4-year career for kids. If the mandate comes down to do financial education, it's great to have a full year course, but you're closing the door to alternatives for students. And that's one of the reasons why I thought a one semester course would be a good thing, because I want to give kids an opportunity to take other courses. But we're running across a situation where we just are mandating a full 4 years of education for kids and no opportunity for them to say, I don't want to take that. I want to take this over here. Thank you.
Okay. Well, then I guess we are to the vote. Ms. Perry, your preferential vote is?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed?
Yes. Opposed.
All right. That motion passes. Okay. And Ms. Tilley, do we have other public speakers this evening? Or was that the last one?
Currently, our public speaker sheet shows no further speakers this evening.
All right, thank you. We have then a leaseback contract for S&B James Construction for the Anakile Main Office and Kinder Complex project. There is no presentation. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That motion passes. Resolution to declare instructional materials of the district undistributed and obsolete and allowing for the sale thereof. There's no presentation. Is there a motion?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. We have a award bid 2235-26 to Blick Art for CTE material and equipment, and no presentation. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second?
Discussion? Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Another award of bid, number 223625, district vehicles to A through Z bus sales, no presentation. Is there a motion?
I'm excited to second this one. Yay, more buses.
Okay. Board discussion?
I just have a question.
Ms.
that just
Paterno,
came up.
yes.
I wasn't quite sure. Are we purchasing these two buses, or are we selling the two electric buses that we got?
We're purchasing.
I think it was a grant, wasn't it?
Oh,
I think it's a grant.
to purchase these two more buses?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Electric buses.
Nice. So this is in addition to the two we already have, yeah?
21st century, here we come.
I understand that to be the correct.
Okay. I'm sorry, there was a motion and we didn't vote yet. Okay. Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Resolution 312425, authorizing instructors to teach on a provisional internship permit, no
approval.
presentation. Did I hear a motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next is Resolution 322425, authorizing employment on a variable term waiver. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion? Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. The next resolution is 332425, authorizing speech-language pathologists to provide services based on a local assignment option. No presentation. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? Preferential vote?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. We are now to information items. There is a written report, financial statement for September 2024. Any board discussion? Okay. Then we move on to our Joint Sunshine for the FSUTA and Fairfield-Suisun Unified School Districts, July 21, 2025 through June 30th, 2028.
No, 2028, wow.
I know.
Just like
That's why I had to slow down.
I'm
Really
very
long
proud that FSUTA President Pam Williamson has joined me tonight. We stand before you with the first presentation of our joint bargaining agreement that we've put together. It's an extremely progressive step in our future labor management relations with our labor partners. And then we're going to ask that you accept this tonight, and we'll be coming back to you for final approval at the next board meeting. Pam, did you have anything to say?
Thank you this evening. I am honored to be here with Ken tonight because this really is a miraculous thing, and we are looking forward to working together as we continue this process.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, any board discussion? Ms. Patero and then Ms. Tilley.
I just want to say that in the last 4 years that I've been on this board, this is the first time that I have seen our organizations such as FSUTA stand next to the administration. And to me, that is a big deal because now we can move forward together as opposed to two parallel ships passing in the night without much collaboration. So to see this really warms my heart, and it really makes me happy and, I feel confident going forward that this district is moving in the right direction because there's so much more collaboration with our units, our member units here and this administration. So that was brilliant to see. That was a wonderful holiday surprise and great to see. Thank you.
Ms. Tilley.
I just want to our head of HR and our head of FSUTA for this historic moment. Okay that I have that? All right. Yeah. For the first time, I was on the board in 4 years. Looks like I'm going to be on another 4 years. It's a first for me. Congratulations.
Yes, wonderful. All right. No further discussion, then we move on to our next information item, and that is a listing of board member interest for offices and subcommittees for the upcoming year. And so there is an attachment with the names of those who have come forward for the different positions. If anybody has not yet made their interest known, then there is still time to do that before it becomes a vote at the next meeting. So, I don't think there's anything else.
Point of
with this
information,
item, right?
I have a question. We have a board member here who is not on this list, and will they have an opportunity to, between now and the next board meeting?
Yes, they have time between now and the actual vote, and even on the dais that day.
They can always make their request then as well. Right, okay, great, thank you.
Okay, and can I just hand the next several items over to you rather than speaking to each one and then kicking it over to you? Okay, thank you. You got 3 in a row.
So the first item is the governance handbook, and it is tradition at the December meeting for the board to adopt that handbook after it has formed. So I just wanted to give a heads up to everybody, and especially to our incoming board members, that that's going to be presented. We also have, the next item is the board bylaws and exhibits, the June 2026 governing board meeting schedule, because that's going to be important for our incoming board members. I had also suggested that we provide them with the January through June schedule for 25, since that's going to impact their calendars most directly. Finally, there's the governance calendar. There was an interesting change this year on the governance calendar. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, or if you noticed it, but on the governance calendar, we used to have student voices, and we'd assign that at specific points during the year. And what we were learning, and hopefully this is good with you too, JJ, I forget the last name. Okay, yeah, okay. Anyway,
And the reason for that is not to reduce student voices, but to grant flexibility to our students to be able to present in ways that are meaningful for them based upon their constituency throughout the year, rather than pigeonholing them into a performance on a specific month. So at least that's my understanding of that. So that'll be coming before the new board in December as well. And then finally, our cultural proclamation calendar, which I really like. I mean, that's another new invention for us, in that now we know people don't have to come to us and say, hey, can you please honor us? It's like, no, yes, we can, but look, we've got our dates and our focus out there to celebrate the rich diversity, as well as the important events that shape our lives throughout the year. So these are just information items. You're going to see them again at the December board meeting, and I don't know if there's any questions or issues. If anyone has those, happy to answer now. We're in December.
Okay.
Ms. Patero?
Actually, I do have a comment, and that is on the handbook. If I know it's an informational item, but I think it's important when we get to the December meeting that we revisit that, because the majority of the board members will be on the board from 2020 on to now. And so I think that is something that should be revisited, so everybody on the new board, on the board, will have input as to what the new handbook is going to look like. So that's just my input for when we have the next board meeting. I think everybody should have an input in what the handbook looks like, and not just rubber stamp carrying on something that happened, like, I don't know, 40 years ago.
And just to reply, that's a great idea. So a couple of things. I'm a huge supporter of board retreats, and also it looks like the governance subcommittee is going to be have some new members on it as well. Normally it's something you'd refer to committee for discussion and revision. The handbook itself, though, does contain laws that apply to each of us in our service once we take the oath. So I'm not sure we can just discard it, but I certainly invite and appreciate the need for review and versatility, as well as knowledge of what the obligations are as set forth in that handbook. So all good ideas.
Okay. Well, moving on then. Okay. We are to our employee organization reports. Pam Williamson. Oh, and okay. CSEA, you go first. Is that you're delegating to them? All right. Heather Baker.
Good evening, Board President Smith, Superintendent Sachs, and members of the Governing Board. My name is Heather Baker, and I'm here to speak on behalf of CSEA Chapter 302, where I currently serve as member at large. CSEA was recently part of a budget discussion with other associations, our superintendent, and the district. It was a very educational session where the district sought our questions about the budget deficit, provided in-depth answers, and we had the opportunity to follow up questions and group discussion. One of the topics covered was potential layoffs, and we are very heartened that there is no current plan to lay anyone off. Late November is the season of gratitude, and we'd like to take time tonight to express ours. We are very grateful for the proposed solution of finding other positions for employees who are currently in one of the vulnerable positions tied to expiring one-time monies. The solution holds onto our knowledgeable trained staff, ensures no one loses a job, and protects our employees. We are grateful for the relationship we have built with our governing board, superintendent, and district team, that we are able to navigate through conversations and find solutions. We are grateful for our members for their hard work, their perseverance, and dedication to our students, and we are grateful to our students who we see striving to succeed every day and who endlessly inspire us to hope for theirs and our future. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Muskogee Creek.
Timing is everything, and what a better time to see the approval of FSUSD's Ethnic Studies course than Native American Heritage Month. We are so excited for our students of color to be centered in the national narrative and to see their culture and heritage as a valuable part of their education. As part of the team that helped create the course, I am beyond thrilled to see that our hard work and purposeful work is coming to life. Earlier, I also just want to say thank you. We are really looking forward to a focused, productive negotiation for the betterment of those that we serve. And lastly, we'd like to thank those outgoing trustees for your service to FSUSD and wish you the best. And have a great Thanksgiving break. Be safe.
Thank you. Any other employee organizations that would like to speak? Okay, then we go to our student board member report.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is JJ Perry, and this is basically my 15 minutes of fame, except I won't hold you guys to 15 minutes. I want to start off by saying thank you all for coming and sticking this long. It's getting pretty late. But as our semester does near its end, I want to reflect on the current progress of my council of student advisory. I've been able to meet many students from across our district, some as young as second graders to some people who are in my grade, who have shared their opinions, their love for their school sites, and improvements they wish to see in the upcoming months as we near our second semester. And I'd like to make it known that when it came to really picking a topic, there was a lot of suggestions. A lot of kids talked about improving the food. Some of them talked about having more events and more extracurriculars and more sports and whatnot. But these kids really came together and they agreed on one thing, that they all really loved their schools. And to me, that was really wonderful to see, that as a collective, we have decided that we really want to see an improvement on where we go to school so that it's welcoming to everybody and also kind of aesthetically pleasing, which is why we have decided that environmental awareness would be our main focal point during our Student Voices presentation, like Ms. Tilley said earlier, and that we present annually to the board. And these students have been very adamant about the absolute love they feel for their campuses. So it really bothers them when they see trash pile up, students discard wrappers, and some of them even brought up nicotine products, which is, beyond me. And they also focus on damages to school, which includes graffiti and some kids smashing mirrors and taking locks off the doors, which again is beyond me how some of these elementary schoolers are doing that. But that's none of my business. But these students that came, they really helped gather information and truly show that they care about the safety and also the equality of other students and also their staff and the schools that they attend. Our research has included interviewing staff and students about their opinions on the environment of their school, encouragement of cleaning up after oneself and ways to stop littering, and policies to enact and implement punishments if littering is observed. And as we continue to work on this presentation, I really want to ensure the governing board, as well as the members of our community, that we as a council are passionate about making our schools, but not just our schools, our district, a better place. And as I said before, I am so astonished and very proud of these students, especially these students who were just recognized as Student of the Month. One of the girls who was Student of the Month, she actually worked on some of our proposals for this. And I can really just tell you all that our world is in safe hands. As much as chaos and commotion has happened in this room or outside in this world or whatever you see, that I really truly believe that tomorrow is in wonderful hands as these kids grow up, and they will truly do wonderful things. And that's all I got.
I love that. All right. Our last item is a written report, the minutes for the facilities subcommittee meeting. And then as I move to adjournment, Mr. Polk, did you say that you had something you wanted to address, or did you address it in your comments earlier?
I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, this evening, I will adjourn the meeting in memory and honor of Shelley McLaughlin, retired FSUSD educator, and Phyllis James, retired FSUSD educator. May they rest in peace, and may their memories be a blessing. We're adjourned.